Show that all board members are present except Mr. Snuffer. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda with a small change? On 11D, it's approved suspension. So do I have a motion to approve the agenda with the changes? Are we not on?
I can't hear you in the back, Mr.
Oh,
Sporden is saying she can't hear you.
okay. Do sign language.
Try that again. Try it now.
Start over.
No, just try to speak. See if Miss Gordon can hear you.
Can y'all hear me out there? No. Okay.
A little bit, they're saying.
Can't hear.
Hello. Hello.
They can hear you.
Better. Need a motion.
So we need a motion.
So we need a motion to approve the agenda with the one adjustment.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Okay, the first thing on our agenda is Math Field Day Regional and State Level Award winners.
Members, I'm Leanne Chesley. I am Raleigh County's math specialist. And members, I'm Leanne Chesley. I am Raleigh County's math specialist. And I am going to be presenting tonight the county, regional, and state Math Field Day Awards. So we're going to start with the county. And in fourth grade, honorable mention, Nikolai Diachenko.
Oh, wait a minute. Come on up. No, I'm not.
And I forgot to say he's from Hollywood Elementary. Third place, Marshall Boone from Mabscott Elementary.
Yeah. Ready?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's try. Do you want to do it now? Before?
Congratulations.
You got it. Uh-oh.
Second place from Shady Spring Elementary, Eliza Sly.
Oh, fix her hair.
There you go. You want a picture?
Sure.
Okay. Her principal's always here. She just pulled up.
Oh.
We'll get her. Be really smart. It is that road construction. 1, 2, 3.
We can get her back up.
Yeah. Just want to stand over here, maybe.
We'll get her
right
back.
Oh,
He's here. Okay. Move on back. Move on back.
Tell her to run.
While they're coming,
So cute.
Congratulations.
And first place from Daniels Elementary, Elijah McLean.
One, two, three. Congratulations.
Okay, for fifth grade for the county, honorable mention from Daniels Elementary, David Henderson.
Oh, you don't want me in this. Yes, please. My wife would slaughter me. Not that I'm afraid of her.
Very well. I'm gonna get one more from the principal here. One, two, three. Thank you. Congratulations.
Third place from Gent Elementary, Ryder Petrella.
That's the principal. Right here. You want me to take a picture? Okay. I'll do that, and then we'll take one of the feet up there. Good? Okay, you want one up? One, two, three. Very good. Congratulations. Very well. Thank you.
Second place from St. Francis, Ben Colvin.
You want to? Yeah. She can go back.
And first place for fifth grade from Beckley Elementary, Andrew Tran. Okay, moving on to the middle school division. In sixth grade, honorable mention, Caden Cummings from Beckley Stratton Middle School.
He about as tall as you.
Third place from Park Middle School, Luke Horn.
You guys want to get a picture?
There you go.
I'll do like it this way or this way? Back. I'll do this side. One, two, three. Yep. Thank you. Congratulations. Great home.
Second place from Shady Spring Middle School, Kaylin Eastburn. Okay, first place from Park Middle School, Schwenchen Ren.
Pull him back in.
Should I be in a picture?
Seventh grade, honorable mention from Independence Middle School, Ian Clements.
Did you already get one?
You're good, you're good. Go ahead.
3.
Do you want in?
Yeah, give one.
Sure.
This is your phone, okay? You're welcome. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Thank you.
Third place from Shady Spring Middle School, Jade Govey. Seventh grade, second place from Trap Hill Middle School, Bailey August. And first place from Park Middle School, Henry Murphy.
Might know, it'd be Debbie's class.
One more, hold on, I think it's, I'm sorry, I didn't want to get this ready. 1, 2, 3.
You don't wanna?
You'll get another. Henry, congratulations.
Moving on to eighth grade, honorable mention from Shady Spring Middle School, Zane Patel. Third place from Park Middle School, Brenna Stump. Second place from Park Middle School, Reagan Moore. First place from Trap Hill Middle School, Asher Worley. Okay, moving on to the high school division. Okay, ninth grade, honorable mention from Woodrow Wilson High School, Gavin Lockhart. Third place from Woodrow Wilson High School, Carter Croston. Second place from Woodrow Wilson High School, Connor Stump. First place from Woodrow Wilson High School, Sadie Morris. Okay, our 10th through 12th grade is in one division for Math Field Day. So starting with 10th place for the 10th through 12th grade division from Woodrow Wilson High School, Brinley Stone.
Okay.
Ninth place from Shady Spring High School, Jackson McLean.
Oh, look at that. He's as tall as you are, too.
Eighth place from Shady Spring High School, Audrey Justice.
She'll have to do your hair. There you go.
Seventh place from Shady Spring High School, Cass Pugh. Sixth place from Woodrow Wilson High School, Jocelyn Lilly. Fifth place from Shady Spring High School, David Carver. Fourth place from Shady Spring High School, Joshua Smith. Third place from Woodrow Wilson High School, Maya Panta. Second place from Liberty High School, Jacob Tolliver. And first place from Woodrow Wilson High School, Simon Ren.
You're getting better at it.
And she also designed the Math Field Day shirts, too. Okay, so then moving on to regionals. Most of those students recognized went on to regionals, and most of them actually placed. So they've already had their awards at regionals. So, but we're going to recognize first place at regionals. And so in sixth grade, first place from Beckley Stratton Middle School, Caden Cummings.
Hold on. Hold on. Okay. There you go.
Gonna get up there. You went in the picture too?
There you go.
You went in the picture?
Seventh grade, first place for regionals from Park Middle School, Henry Murphy.
Coming on up.
Mhm. You know?
Congratulations again.
Again.
Ninth grade first place from Woodrow Wilson High School, Carter Croston. And first place from Liberty High School, Jacob Tolliver. So then they went on to state. So those who went to regionals and placed first through third ended up going to being invited to states. And we're going to recognize anyone who placed first through third place. And we have one second place, Wanchen Ren from Park Middle School. Thank you to parents for taking them to regionals and to states. They represented Raleigh County very well, and we're very proud of them. So thank you.
Next is school nurse.
I grabbed it real fast. I have to go.
Help me if you can. I mean, yeah, I do that. Thursday. Yeah. You're not knowing any better. Not knowing any better. Once I do better, I do better. Use your mouth. Hey, those are your kids, right? That is the one. I know. Well, it's good to see you. Have you seen her picture? Hold on for a minute. Don't start yet.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Great. Yeah, great.
Okay, moving right along. National Certified School Nurse, Courtney.
Hello, I'm Courtney Wilson.
Hit the little button on the.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. It's my first time.
Go, you're good.
I'm Courtney Wilson, now the Director of Health Services. I was one of your school nurses and took that position when Angie Foster retired, so it's nice to finally meet you all. I'm here this evening to recognize one of our school nurses for achieving a national certification, and it says on your agenda, Wanda Katie Green, but we know her as Katie Green. She is a nurse at Fairdale and Liberty High School. And for those of you that might not know, the National Board for Certified School Nurse exam focuses on areas such as health appraisal, nursing practice, health promotion, disease prevention, school health practice considerations, like managing chronic and acute health conditions, emergency care, professional responsibility, like legal, ethical issues, documentation, leadership, and standards of practice. So Katie makes the fourth school nurse to be certified. So that means 25% of your nurses are nationally certified. So I just want to congratulate her. I hope if she's listening this evening, and we're very proud of her. And all of the nurses are so good on this nurse team, and I'm happy to represent them this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have one agenda item signed up. Is Doug Capiletti here? No. Okay, we have one non-agenda item. Ashley Dowden.
Alicia.
Oh, Alicia, I'm sorry.
I can't see. Oh, can you hear me? Okay. Good evening. I am Alicia Dowden. I'm a concerned parent. Recently, this past Saturday or Sunday, a man was found unresponsive from an alleged fentanyl overdose at Stratton Elementary School grounds. Also, there has been reports of children arguing. Gunshots have been reported. Allegedly, a child called police and maybe no response. Underage drinking has been reported. Threats to adults. One was a pregnant lady. And smaller children from older teenagers reported. Trash, broken bottles seen on the playground from unknown sources. My reason for this concern is that there are warmer temps equals increased activity, very limited to places for children and or teens to go to let off steam. And in 2023, we had 3 people who were murdered, one being my nephew, and they were taken away, and I just do not want this stuff to be repeated this year. And the drug activity in Raleigh County has increased, as well as West Virginia, which we all would know. My solution would be, I would not like to close the park, but because there are people who play basketball, and there seems not to be an issue with the basketball court. But if you close the basketball court, you have to close the park. There is no way. I'm not sure if maybe we can figure out a way to maybe add an extra gate so that the park can be closed at a certain time, possibly by 8:30, because that's when all the activity comes up. And maybe keep the basketball court open so that people, because when I ride through there, really just people just playing basketball. Another thing, maybe have someone patrol around the park, inside and out of the park hourly. We do have a police station there, but I have spoken with the chief of police in the past, and they said they do not have the staffing to occupy that space. But somebody can hourly patrol that area and go inside the park to patrol the area. And finally, I just want the Board of Education to work with the police and the city leadership on how to keep Stratton Elementary Park safe for children in the community and outside the community. The children need to be kept safe, but they should not be punished for the irresponsible choices that some adults, some teenagers, and other children make. Just would like for something to be done. My child goes to that school. I have nieces and nephews that go to that school. I don't want nothing to happen. I said something was going to happen, and it did over the weekend. I don't want nothing else to happen, but I'm just trying to prevent. I will be speaking with the city council. It's hard for me to get here. I work 12-hour shifts, so this is my first day off on a Tuesday. So I'm just trying to figure out what to do and how we can all, I don't know, just keep it safe for these children. They should not be punished for a few. There are broken bottles. I've heard of vapes being out there and children picking up the vapes by accident. Teachers are doing their best. I mean, they have a great staff at Stratton, one of the best staff. They're awesome, awesome teachers, awesome principals, but they cannot do it all. They can't do it all. So we just need to assist them and help them and somebody figure something out. And my thing would be maybe to build an extra gate so that the park itself can be closed, but maybe keep the basketball court open. I don't know how much that would cost. Something. Just think about it, please. That's all I'm asking. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, board reports, Dr. Hutchins.
Well, like all the other, I guess all the other board members, it was a privilege to participate in the Teacher of the Year, the Service Personnel of the Year, and the retirement celebration, because I've always said the thing that makes Raleigh County strong are our employees. And so anytime that we set aside a few minutes to celebrate them, I think is good. And all of those were really, really good. I continue to work at Stratton in the library down there, and we're making great progress. And as a matter of fact, we're going to help with an upcoming book fair that they're going to have. I also read to, I call it my kindergarten class at Clear Fork. And as usual, they're just sweet. They're just a pleasure to go read to. And I also participated in a book bundle giveaway through Read Aloud at Coal City Elementary. We did that for grades 4 and 5, and it really well. The special thing about that to me was that the books were given in honor and memory of Linda Ramsey, who was a longtime teacher, taught 5th grade at Coal City for many years. She was a great teacher and a dear friend of mine, so it was a special honor for me to be there and to participate in that.
Ms. Smith?
Well, as Dr. Hutchins said, we all attended the banquets. I thought each one of them was wonderful. The ACT culinary class did an outstanding job with the food. I probably ate too much each night, but it was good. Today I did stop by transportation for Driver Appreciation Day. Chris, thank you for doing the food for the drivers. I think our drivers are sometimes, as all of our employees, are sometimes underappreciated. And Chris had quite the spread out today for their Appreciation Day. And while I was there, Cranberry kids were out on recess and the kids were out playing. It warms my heart to see kids outside playing and laughing and giggling. And so I was the strange person standing watching the kids today play.
They probably reported you.
They probably did. So that's all I have, Larry.
Ms. Hamrick?
Oh, the only thing is the banquets were wonderful. ACT kids that prepared the food, they really are phenomenal. And probably our general population doesn't really know that program, but it is, it's really something. They were about perfect. And Chris, that was really nice of you to put on the bus driver appreciation luncheon. It was nice. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the only thing I have to report is the same thing they all reported. We all had a good time at ACT, eating the food and listening to the speakers. Dr. Starcher?
I know we have had banquets to recognize our Teacher of the Year and Service Person of the Year and our retirees. And as everyone has said, they were wonderful, and ACT never disappoints. Like they do better and better every year, if that's even possible. As I told you at our last meeting, the state has started a Counselor of the Year and a Principal of the Year recognition program. Our Counselor of the Year was just announced yesterday. That is Brandy Seabolt. She serves Maxwell Hill Elementary and Stanford Elementary schools. our principal of the year. We announced a couple of weeks ago, but she happens to be here tonight, so I thought we would go ahead and announce it again, and that is Laura Pennington, principal of Trap Hill Middle School. So thank her for what she does. Miss Pennington is, well, she's the best principal we have this year, principal of the year. But they're all hard workers. They're working very hard. But Miss Pennington, as you will see, she's really doing some amazing work at Trap Hill Middle School, and she's going to be presenting some of that here in just a little bit. But she has shared this information. She presented to the principals at a recent leadership team meeting. They were all impressed with what she's doing at Trap Hill. So anyway, thank you, Ms. Pennington, for being here. A few other things, board members. Today, we had the opportunity to host, if you will, the Game Changer Prevention Education Day at the Beckley-Raleigh County Convention Center. This was sponsored by the Raleigh County Commission, Little General Stores, and the Kind Vista Foundation. So we had students from Independence Middle and Independence High, Shady Spring Middle, and Shady Spring High. All four of them are Game Changer schools this year, with the support of the Raleigh County Commission and a private donor. So today was a big day at the Armory. They all watched the movie One Pill Can Kill. It was a very powerful movie. It was about 35 minutes in length. But U.S. Attorney Moore Capito spoke. It was a very, very good event today. So I want to thank those entities for supporting that. Last Friday, we held the Disability Awareness Kickoff Week at Hollywood Elementary School. It was amazing as always, but I just want to let board members know the No Limits invitation. I think you have a flyer about it in your packet this evening, and that will be this Friday at Woodrow. So I encourage you to come out if you can. But I want to thank Miss Akert and her staff, Miss Coleman and Miss Litchfield, I know, are instrumental in that. And I'm sorry if I left anyone out, but it's an amazing. It was an amazing kickoff. The pace setters were there, and the Woodrow Wilson Sign Language Club. Both were there on Friday, and it was very humbling, to say the least. So that is going on as we speak throughout this week. And then on Friday, we also ACT held the Champions Walk at ACT for the HOSA and the Skills USA state winners. So Delegate Tony was there with us, and it was a fun event. We all had little clappers. These little clappers used our hands, obviously, and the students who have either won HOSA or Skills USA did a walk through the building, and everyone came out and cheered them on. So that was a fun event. The last thing I will report on is our third 9 weeks cards are in the process of going out, but in terms of our GPA, we have at this point 1,989 students in the county with a cumulative 4.0 or higher GPA. And then during the third 9 weeks only, in addition to the 1989, we have had 647 students with a 4.0 GPA or higher. So our students, in terms of their grades, they're doing pretty well. Ms. Lowry, I believe, at our next meeting will be reporting on the recent diagnostic or recent benchmark. I will just be honest, before she presents next time, our scores are lower than we would like to see. We obviously recognize we lost 18 days of instruction with snow, so that does complicate matters, but Ms. Lowry will be reviewing that diagnostic data with you at our next board meeting. That's all I have unless anyone has any questions.
I have another comment that I forgot. The Crescent Elementary little choir that sang for us.
Really good.
Were great. And then, of course, Woodrow's Select Choir
Yes.
at our banquets, and they're just really, really good. And Crescent was awesome.
You mentioned Crescent. I will say this. the playground equipment at Crescent Elementary School has been removed, and the new playground will be installed this summer. But the demo occurred over spring break, and I believe Ms. Reeves left. I believe the same has happened with the pre-K playground at Daniels. That has been removed, and it will be installed this summer as well. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving right along. Ms. Lacy.
Good evening, President Ford, Superintendent Starcher, and board members. Tonight, I'd like to present the 8th month attendance data. For the 8th month, our attendance rate was 90.996. Our enrollment was 9,364. For the 8th month, we had 6 high school exits. There were 32 new homeschool for a total of 915 for the year. 11 new medical homebound for a total of 40 for the year. 11 new alternative for a total of 81 for the year. And 3 new Hope Scholarship Notice of Intents for a total of 914 for the year. Any questions?
Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
PBIS presentation. Ms. Pennington. And congratulations.
While Miss Pennington's coming, I'll just say Tom Harmon and I are the ones who hired her many years ago, and we taught her all she knows.
Thank you.
Copies of the PowerPoint. I may move around, that's what I'm used to.
As Ms. Pennington is preparing, you've heard a lot about, or off and on, you've heard about PBIS this year. Trap Hill is doing a very good job with implementing PBIS. So we thought it would be good for you to see an example of what PBIS looks like in action. And we believe Ms. Pennington's the best to share that. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Well, they
Oh,
have
I'm sorry, which one I do? I got you. I got you now. Okay, so Tambra's gonna be my clicker for the PowerPoint. So just go ahead and click. Okay, so years ago, we became a PBIS school, or so we thought. When I took over as principal, I had some staff members come to me going, we need something. And I'm like, well, what do you think? Well, they had researched and found this program called PBIS. And so I sent some of them to a training. They came back and initiated the matrix, which is your expectations that your students will follow based on things that you'd like to see happen in your building. We started with the little celebrations. The matrix, can you all make sense of that? So just be honest. It's a lot. It's a mess. So there's where we were. You try explaining integrity to a middle schooler without using Google. Okay, so go ahead and flip it. You skipped one. She was on right there. Okay. The one before was hideous. This is where we are now. We realized when the PBIS became countywide that we did not have a PBIS system. Through the trainings that were given, and thank you, by the way, for that, we realized we were nowhere near a PBIS system. So we had to go to work. We could not reach bronze. There was no way. We had too much revamping to do. We had to basically start over. We had to scrap the caddy and move on. I got a team together. A lot of the people that were with me had since moved on, so I pulled a brand new team together. I can't say brand new because a couple of them pulled in.
we have now, from pride to pause, positive actions Wildcat show. We are respectful, responsible, and safe. And we have hallway, restroom, cafeteria, classroom, bus, and school activities. We took 2 guidelines for each area and put them with respectful, responsible, safe. And it's a much shorter, easier to explain, easier to understand version for staff and middle schoolers. And it took us a while to come up with that. We did research on what was out there. We came up with our own. I have a wonderful long-term sub that I'm hoping to get hired in before I leave, who did our designing and stuck with me. I had a place for her every year. Hopefully it'll be permanent. So she did all the design work throughout the years of progress on this, and she stuck with me on creating this. So if you flip it migrated into our core beliefs and our mission statement. And again, the design stay. That's all the paperwork process, okay? But there's more that involves creating a good PBIS system other than the t-shirts and the banners. And we thought those were great when we had them, but realized there's a lot more to it. So this is our banner design. This is the basic, what we get the students to remember, and they can tell you. They can tell you what pause is, and they can tell you we're responsible, respectful, and safe. Couldn't tell you what pride was. They might get, well, I can't even remember what P is. So it becomes more easy, not just words that you got on your walls. And we got the t-shirts, nice t-shirts for that. We did that the first year with the money that OXP gave us. We have our bus guidelines, our hallway, and this is just what we have throughout the building. School activities, we combined several of those from that pride matrix into just calling it school activities. Sometimes the most simplest things don't pop out to you at the onset. It takes a while, and this is a constant revamping. We went back and made so many changes, it's unbelievable, and it's still growing. Restroom and classroom. Within classroom, the next thing that was charged to the teachers, I'm not sure what's that, was their own classroom expectations. So that is a work in progress for them. They came up with that this year on how they wanted to have those within, now that we have the basic school classroom. Earlier in this year, we realized with the cafeteria procedures that we had, one of the second paw print followed cafeteria procedures. We didn't have those spelled out for the kids. We told them what they were. You do this, this, and this. But then we put it in writing. My long-term sub had a nice little picture. It's on all of our cafeteria tables. It's within our cafeteria. And it's with our cafeteria poster. The next thing is showing you one example of how it's in the hallway. That's just showing you that it's throughout. There's a teacher's classroom where there's 2 classrooms there put together. And that just shows you how they have those in their classrooms. So they're in every room, they're in the hallways, they're in the designated areas for everybody to see. Okay, it's all about those right there. Those false tickets have been something else. In order to reach the bronze status, we did not have a system of rewarding. We had these expectations, which are great, but what are you going to do for the kids that are doing what they're supposed to be doing? You know, I believe in incentives. I started the incentive program, Marcia can tell you, when I first started teaching. And I'm all about rewarding the kids because I get a paycheck. So this is their paycheck. We went from green to white to yellow, and then we were like, okay, red, that's our school color. Let's go with red. The most obvious is not the one that you go to automatically. So for the kids, it's about these. They get these for following the expectations. These are a wonderful bribery tool, by the way. Also, the most obvious was rewarding for perfect attendance, no lunch detention, no DRF. We didn't start that till second semester. And it should have been the most obvious that they get rewarded for. So now we started out with one. I'm like, you know what? One is not enough. So now they get a sheet of 4 for having perfect attendance for every month, no lunch detentions, and no DRFs. I've already got little things for them to start the first day we start this, because we start it school-wide. They have a ticket in a little pencil pouch ready to go in the storage room. So those will be given to those kids when they first start and are first introduced to this. With this, you have to have an explanation to your staff, and you have to have staff buy-in on what you're doing. So the expectations for this are printed, and you'll see them if you could read them. I know they're small. Teachers will get Paul Prince tickets to hand out, and actually, they don't get them. I have a recognition board, and it's in there, it's coming, where they come up and get them out of their basket. And actually, for next year, I have a pack of red paper for everyone and a master. They're gonna run their own. You have to start prepping for next year, long about this time, and it's ready to go. You also have to have visuals for the kids. So these are posted within the classrooms and around the school on how they can be rewarded like school-wide. I take kids out at lunch all the time. I took 6th grade out today. I was working on strategic plan, so that's the only grade level that I got to go out on. They'll pass up, they'll trade in tickets for hats. The boys love to wear their hats. 5 tickets, they wear their hats, they get a paw stamp and a date. We had to realize we had to have the date because they weren't washing their arms. I wanted to wear their hats, so there are complications that come up with this because the boys love wearing the hats. When you're talking about your staff willing to do certain things, you have some that pop up automatically, that they'll do this and they'll do that. And then you have some that you have to kind of convince along the way. Well, one thing you have to kind of convince them of is a 10-ticket class swap. I do this myself. They bring me their wish trade with their tickets on what they want to do. And it's like I said on the staff, there's ways that you can manipulate this. You can do it on certain days. It's always on a day that you choose. And then they can go from one teacher to another the same class period. So I have them going from elective to elective. I have them going from 8th grade math to 6th grade math. They're going all over the place. But it's only with teacher permission, and it's not outrageous, so it's manageable. And then I actually have a little boy who has traded in several tickets to work with my custodian for a class period, several class periods actually. So those are things that once you get past your naysayers and others see how it works, that you can have the buy-in. I won't forget, because this is one that can be a naysayer when you're introducing new things. I saw her coming up the hallway, and this was being after the program got really good going, and they realized how they could use this. I went out of the lower office. She was coming up 6th grade, and she had these tickets, and she was doing this. And she's like, I didn't know this could be as wonderful as it is. She's like, I'm getting them to do all kinds of things. And she was taking her tickets up. Okay. So underneath the board, I think there's a shot in there. I'm not sure of the whole board, maybe. Underneath the board, these are how the teachers use them in their classrooms, like how the kids can redeem them within the classroom. So it's not just a school redemption, it's a classroom redemption. For example, in Ms. Basham's class, 50 tickets, they can get a custom 3D print. Or in another class, 20 tickets, they can make a ceramic clay figure of their choice. Listen to music at certain times. Use the teacher's chair. So you've got all kinds of things that they come up with, but this is every teacher, because I made sure that every single one of them turned them in. And you can see how designing they are, and then you see some that are just printed. Every school has those, okay? But I'm working on them. So every room has options on how the kids can use those tickets. All right. Okay, so here's where they end up. The tray in the middle, when the kids use them, they go in that middle tray. The office aides love me because they get to sort them out. So they get them from the left, give them to the kids for whatever the reason. When the kids use them, they go in the middle tray. And then you're like, okay, so what's the incentive for the teachers? what do they get? You know, it's all about the kids, yes, but to have more teacher buy-in, you have to have some things that they can use them for. So right now, 10 tickets gets them jeans whatever day they want, okay? Because and I'm sorry if you're not, it doesn't matter what I'm wearing, it matters how in my approach and what I'm doing with my kids. So here is one ring pop basket that they filled up, and here's where they have to show. Since then, that's what I come up with, and they kept up with just filling it out. Since then, I've had a teacher who actually did a really nice chart. Okay, so it's not just that one anymore, it's a really nice fill-in chart. And I now have that plus 2 of those pork rind plastic containers from Sam's that are full, where the teachers have traded them in. I have things in concession that they can go in and purchase for tickets, which has properly come out of the correct funding for that, because you have to figure that out, how to do that legally. I have a designated side of the cooler for their drinks. And then I have some things on the table, and every once in a while I'll throw in a nacho day that they can get nachos. So here is what I have in the office that kind of puts it all together. The posters at the top, and of course the matrix on the left, the ticket basket on the left, and then those pockets have all the staff member names. So when the kids turn them in, they can put in those, and now you'll see empty ones because they have come up and got them so they can use them. They're not empty because they didn't turn any in. And I'll even have to go through and I'll tell my aides, okay, bundle them up, take them down, they're breaking my, they get so many in that they break breaking some of the plastic because they get so heavy. So that was the documentation system. These are some examples of some things that I bought legally. This OSP money. Here's some things that you helped on the right, which was binders. The left, very simple things I purchased from Sam's. And actually, this started with the objects. I have 5 nieces and nephews, and I'm really bad about buying things and not returning them. So I put things in the cave, and I spread things. We have what's called a wildcat cave, and that has been organized by a long-term sew. Started with donations. People bringing things. My counselor brought, that hat came from her boys, they didn't wear anymore. The one on the right came from something I didn't return. Those were made by my Miss Jessie Basham with the 3D printers. So it started with, like I said, the donations, and it grew from there. I have staff members that are buying things and donating them. That is a staff member's example of her things they can trade in tickets for. Over on the right was a pencil box that one of the kids designed. That's what gave me, I'm like, oh my gosh. I have seen them with baggies. They'll have their baggies at lunch, because I told them, I said, bring your stuff. I let them go down the hall 2 or 3 days, and I said, that's it. If you don't have it, you miss out. You never know what I'm going to do when, because I don't announce it. So that's what gave me the idea of having the pencil pouches ready to go the first day with a 26, 27 ticket in it, because you can't reuse them. Here's some examples of some things that they have won. I do it at lunches. I have ticket trades. I have accumulated some things on a cart, a tiered cart that I take down 1, 3, 5, 10 ticket value, and they just bring tickets up and they trade it. I have another thing. I've accumulated things, and I'm going to do another one. I've done several, and I'll do a few more before the year's out. But you'd be surprised, the simplest little thing that they enjoy. So if you have any donations, I will more than greatly take them. This is where we're going outside one day. They'll give me their tickets, we're going. That's just a picture of them outside, enjoying the outside time. I took some in earlier to the gym, and we did I'm not basketball oriented. No, we didn't do the course. No, just what West Virginia has a hard time making. Foul shot. So we did a competition in I do watch a little bit of that. I like watching the girls better than play. But we did a foul shot competition for $10. So I have, money in the vault, I have gift cards that I've purchased or got donated. I have a custodian and teachers that are really good at seeking donations, which have helped tremendously. And you'd be surprised, Kohl's Cash goes a long way, and the CVS coupons on the bottom that says you get $4 off. So I go right, when I get one of those, I go right back and I'll pick something else out. I've heard my teachers, I had some make purchases at Five Below or a dollar store. This is an auction. I do auctions with items. I do drawings. I say, okay, I'll put something up like maybe a Bath and Body gift card. And I'll say, okay, if you want in, give me 3 tickets minimum. Put in as many as you want. So they always know they're going to be able to redeem their tickets. They just don't get them, and that's all that we do. They're going to be able to get them. And those are the best days for me. Those are. Tamara was at one day where one of our 7th graders realized I had one of the autistic children bidding on a t-shirt that day?
It was that stuffed animal.
Yeah, he was bidding, and when Austin stood up, because Austin is a ticket guru, when Austin stood up and he realized that Jagger was bidding, he sat back down. So, and I have clothing items that I have accumulated and been donated, and I'll put one out sometimes, and I'll say, okay, this is 20 tickets, but I've got your size in the Wildcat K. Or we'll do an auction for it. We did an auction that day too, and he was not an auction. And there's the teachers getting to enjoy. So, but there's a lot that you could do. I'm also accumulating some things with classroom supplies that they can use their tickets on too. So like I said, it's a work in progress. It does not happen overnight, and there's no way you can build it in a year. You have to have a longer time. So now we're working on tier 2. And then, I don't know if you want, these are just more pictures of the kiddos, and then there's a couple of videos where, this is cute. When you show this one, this was an Easter egg. You gotta do it, well, you hit on that 8th grade sign on the one before. Yeah, hit this. This is just snippets of the grade level auctions.
This is new. We didn't see this.
Put this on one. This is my 8th grade group. Sometimes they're too full for school. They get into this, and they share tickets. They share tickets, and they'll split, like if I put $50 up, they'll put their tickets in and then split the money. They're very creative, yeah. This is so fun, so much fun. I think I have a gift card in my hand. And you can have a lot of fun with it. You know, the ones that come in, those are sneak bidders and. Well, you see the one on this crazy $25 rabbit I got from Sam's. This is it. The rabbit's in here. 2 girls are going to share the rabbit. Sometimes it's an unbelievable amount of tickets. And that's just a plastic duck. It's all that is, a plastic rubber duck. I think it was donated. If it's not donated a certain value, you have to have signatures. But the donated items, I don't have to have signatures. See the rabbits in the back?
Yeah, I'm holding it up.
$25. That's next.
Did the street store get one of those?
Yes, and
I got it.
yeah, Trump's daughter and Ava Yee.
Yeah.
She's nurse over there at Liberty, and he's with Phoenix. I thought they were battling with their sharing. It was over 100 tickets for the bunny. And they were so excited. It's like, here, and I have everybody on that lunch duty. I pull them in whether they want to help or not. I make them help. I have my custodian on there, counting tickets, Tito counts tickets, and I just keep moving on with whatever I'm doing. And whoever's up there at the signature table, I'll say, this is a signature. You go up here, and they take care of that, because one person cannot do it all. It's too much, and you got to have it all properly documented. It's the quietest cafeteria you've ever heard. They'll plot so you can hear them. That stupid little squishy. Oh, and the peat, it smelled. I let them smell the peat because it was fruity smelling. I kind of just play it out as big as I can. And I kind of equate those tickets with dollars. So I make sure I don't lose mine. I won't lose anything. 35 tickets so far on that. And they're handing them, it's wonderful, they hand them to each other and share. Now, there's things like the class swap, they can't share tickets on that. They have to be their own, but this stuff, it doesn't matter if they share tickets. And I just did, the end of last week, I pulled out my art kit. I think they were like $20, and the kids, you have to watch your audiences because some of the little wallflowers wait for certain things. I had a few girls that loved those art kits. This was a egg that was made, Jessie Basher made eggs that twisted apart. That was a gift card, that was Chick-fil-A. There's little 3D things, $20 cash. I had 3 of those, one for each grade level, and I auctioned those off too.
Day I was there, you had like a $50 Bass Pro gift card and 2 kids put together so they could share the $25 each.
So like I said, it's just fun. But it has, we don't even have 100 referrals right now. I mean, I know we have low enrollment, but I think when we were filling it out for the strategic plan, I think we're at 63. Our attendance has jumped tremendously, and I know it's not all about this, but those kids do. You watch, they'll have those tickets with them every lunch now. Part of the fun stuff. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So we have no unfinished business. Policies and procedures. To be placed on 30-day comment. Revision of policy E.7A, elementary athletics. Anybody want to talk about it?
Yes, Mr. Ford, I met with the representatives of the Elementary Principals Association regarding this policy. You will see a few changes noted. On page 1, the elementary principals would like to add an attendance requirement regarding unexcused absences. They've requested that students they have to have no more than 7 unexcused absences during the prior school year in order to participate in elementary athletics. Obviously, since parents and students didn't know, if you would approve this, since parents didn't know the absences would count, we wouldn't start the absences this year. It would be next year's absences would count towards the following year. So you see that note in the policy. And then the Elementary Principals Association would also like to add a cheerleading competition. We have the volleyball and basketball tournaments, but they would like to add a cheerleading competition. So on page 5, you will see cheerleading added for the cheerleading competition. You'll see that added, and with those revisions, I would recommend this policy be placed on 30-day comment.
Okay, y'all heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
I move that we place policy E.7A on comment.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Motion carries. The following policy has completed 30-day comment. And it's policy E.13, acceptable use of technology.
President Ford, no comments were received during the comment period, so my recommendation would be that policy E.13 be approved as presented.
So y'all have heard the recommendation. Do we have a motion?
I move that we approve policy .13.
Second.
Motion's moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Motion carries. Consent items A, B, and C. Is there any objection to approving all those together?
I move
Just-
to approve the consent items A, B, C. That's it. As submitted.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. New business. Consider approval of the exemption to the 4-year attendance requirements. Ms. Hodges.
Good evening, President Ford, Superintendent Dr. Starcher, fellow board members. I presented 4 students who are requesting exemption because they will be completing option pathway at ACT. Any questions? Thank you.
Okay. So we'd have a motion to approve the exemption to the 4-year attendance requirements.
So moved.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Consider the approval of the textbook committee recommendations for adoption of the art, music, health, physical education, personal finance, and driver's education. Ms. Lowry.
Good evening, President Ford, Dr. Starcher, and board members. So it's that time for textbook adoption. And so state law requires that the board approves what the committee chooses to adopt. And then after that is done, we will come back with what we've chosen to purchase with the amounts and have that approved separately. Just remember that when the state requires us to adopt a textbook or some curriculum for every subject that we teach on the year of that adoption. So like personal finance, art, we have to adopt something if we have those courses, but we don't necessarily have to purchase that. So those are some things that we are looking at that situation for this year. If you have a list in your packet, and for personal finance, our committee has chosen Cengage. For music K-5, we're doing with Quaver Ed. That is currently who we use now. The music teachers love that. There's no textbook involved. It's all online, and they use a lot of dancing and movement and music on Quaver Ed. Our secondary music teachers and our band directors and chorus directors that were on the committee have chosen Music First. It also is not a textbook. It's all digital, and a lot of that is where you create your own music digitally, scores to your own films, those types of things. There's instrumental things you can do on there. They told me that they love that. I don't know a whole lot about the music, but Mr. Fama, Miss Atkins, they were very excited about Music First. So that's what we're choosing to go with there. Art Cart for general art K-5, and that is one that we're adopting but not purchasing. So we have 2 art teachers at 2 elementary schools, and art is just going to be integrated with the subject there. That's what the committee has just looked at and chosen to do. For art 6 through 12, we're going with Davis Publishing. That's who we currently use as well. And you'll see the courses there. It covers everything. All of those courses there are what we teach. So we have visual arts, textiles, ceramics, crafts, visual art. So we're doing with Davis Publishing there. It also is a virtual textbook or online textbook and a lot of things online. It's not a hard copy. And then Quaver also has a physical education and wellness program. So what we've decided to do there is we had 2 PE teachers at elementary level on our committee. They loved the Quaver Wellness and wanted to teach that at the PE level. It had a lot of activities, a lot of health included. So we are offering a session on that last week when students are gone and teachers are with us. Quaver's coming in, doing a session for all PE teachers, and we're going to let them decide if that's something they want to use in their classroom, and we'll purchase it for those teachers. We don't want to buy something if they're not going to use it, but we didn't want to put the health on our general ed when the wellness standards fall with the PE teachers. And for health and wellness, grades 6 through 12 unanimously chose Goodhart Wilcox, which we use now. And then for driver's ed, I'm really excited about that. That is optional. You don't have to adopt, but Mr. White, who teaches at Independence High School, wanted to meet with me, and he came and he had talked to the driver's education teachers. They went to the state conference, and they loved AAA. And I wanted to show you that tonight. And I have some different books here. If you want to look at some of our samples, I know Mr. Snuffer likes to look at them. I should have sent one to Hawaii with him, but didn't get to do that. But AAA has How to Drive, and it's a driver's ed curriculum. There's also PowerPoints that come with that. Each student receives a workbook that's just $2. And they loved this curriculum and asked that we consider this, and the state has approved this. So we're going to go with AAA for our driver's ed teachers. So this is what I would like for you to consider this evening, just approving these adoption. I have to have it turned in on Friday, and then I will come back once we have our numbers and the quotes of what each section costs, and then you can approve or deny that. Any questions about any of those?
These are all on the state.
Yes, they have to be. You have to adopt what's on the state, and they have to meet 80%, 100% of the non-negotiables, 80% of general standards, and the specific standards. And I will say that with the wellness, there are two different options. We did essential health. They do offer comprehensive, which includes gender identity. We do essential, which does not include that. That's a state policy there. So we went with essential on that. Are there any questions otherwise?
Any questions? Do we have a motion?
Move that we approve the textbook committee recommendations.
Second.
Motion's moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Consideration of personnel, approved superintendent's recommendation for personnel for 25-26 year.
Good evening, everyone. On your packet with revisions, if you'll look on page 2, about midway down federal programs, the school was misstated in the original recommendation, so that has been changed to reflect Stratton Elementary for the resignation of Kiana Hatfield. That's all.
Oh, it's probably, it's here somewhere. That's okay. Go ahead. It's okay. It's okay. So your recommendation?
Sorry. My recommendation is as presented with the correction noted by Ms. Samarco.
So can we get a motion?
Approve the recommendations as corrected. As recommended by the superintendent. Second.
Motion's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Motion carries. B, approve superintendent's recommendations for 26, 27 year. Man, what happened 25, 26?
Again, we have one correction also on page 2 of this packet. And you will see at the top section under secondary teachers, there was a misspelling of the name. So that has been corrected.
Okay, your recommendation?
My recommendation is as presented with the correction as noted by Ms. Samarco.
Okay, we have a motion.
I move that we approve the 26-27 personnel recommendations with the revision.
Second.
Okay, we got 2 seconds. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Approve suspension.
For suspension of aid, and that is Jennifer Dickerson.
So do we have a motion?
Second.
Motion moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Approve administrative leave of an aide.
Letitia Timbers.
We have a motion to approve the superintendent's recommendation. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Well, the next thing on our agenda is adjournment. That's all we have on our agenda. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.